KC24 and First 5 Fresno County bring you a live forum with area leaders focused on children's first 5 years, how children can thrive with affordable, quality child care and reduced preterm births. These topics and more in the special Early Childhood Matters.
Hello and welcome to this First 5 Fresno County Early Childhood Matters Forum. I'm Stephanie Barugian. First 5 is an organization with one goal: to help local children ages 0 to 5 thrive in our community and beyond. And throughout this very special program, we'll be bringing you stories on issues vital to the success of Valley kids. We'll also be hearing from a panel of elected officials and local leaders about the best ways to help the youngest members of our community reach their full potential. And to get things started, we do welcome in First 5 Executive Director Amelia Reyes. Thank you so much for being here, Amelia.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here.
And why are these forums so important? Why is it important to get the message out?
Well, it's important because those first 5 years, realizing our community, our families have an impact on those first 5 years of life, and showing them and helping them understand the importance of early childhood.
I know First 5 established more than 20 years ago, so 2 decades of important work in the community. Is it still part of your mission to kind of reach the families? How do you find the families that you need to target and help with?
Well, like first 5 years of life, we talk about focusing on the first 5 years, and we know that children grow in the context of their families and their communities and the systems that directly interact with them on a day-to-day basis. And so for us, that system means the people, the policies, and the places that they live in. And we are here with some great community leaders that talk about how they come together to really support our young children from 0 to 5.
So you work with schools?
Yes.
You work with the medical community?
Yes. And so really we want to demonstrate how everybody from the private sector to the community-based agencies, from libraries to law enforcement, from schools to hospitals, that all of us have a role in making an impact on our young children and families.
Is the need growing for services after 20 years?
Yes, unfortunately the needs are growing. However, we have some great community collaborations and leaders in the community trying to figure out what we can do better to make sure our children are thriving.
We're going to be hearing from some of them tonight and help spread this important message. Amelia Reyes, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Well, there are many ways that we can ensure that children make the most of their first 5 years. Let's take a look at more efforts happening now at First 5 Fresno County to support early childhood education and see how their mission is spreading to places like Fresno City College. Our Fabiola Ramirez shows us why the first 5 years of a child's life are so important.
Since the moment they are born, a child's brain is shaped by their experiences and surroundings. What babies see, hear, or feel has a lasting impact on them. That is why the first years of their life are crucial.
90% of the brain develops in the first 5 years of life, which is a rapid pace.
Children thrive when they're safe, when they're healthy, and when they're learning. But that is not something every child in the Valley is getting. There are numerous challenges our community is facing today.
Fresno County has one of the highest preterm birth rates in the state and in the nation, and also a high infant mortality rate, which means our babies are dying within the first year of life, especially in the African American community.
First 5 Fresno County has taken it upon themselves to partner up with various organizations to provide high quality early learning for as many children as possible.
What we're trying to do is provide the same opportunity for all children to have those early learning experience, to have that strong foundation so they can be successful in school, in health, and in life.
First 5 has also invested in quality child care at the Lighthouse for Children in downtown Fresno. Infants, toddlers, and preschool-aged children from diverse backgrounds get the care and education they need to succeed.
And the type of care that we're providing is really quality care because the children do have schedules and routines, and we try to provide a consistent environment so that when children are coming in, they know what to expect.
The Child Development Center serves about 100 children from throughout Fresno County. A similar early learning program is offered at Fresno City College, a partner of First 5.
The Child Care Center provides child care services for young children from ages 2 to 5, but it also serves as a learning lab for our students who are wanting to go into early childhood education careers.
The classes offered are not only for students, but also for parents who want to learn more about child development to become better parents.
You can't address the child's need without addressing the needs of the parents. And so they go hand in hand. And we also know that families can't be successful unless they have a strong community. And so they're all interrelated and connected to each other. So when families and children are loved, nurtured, and are healthy, we all thrive.
In Fresno, Fabiola Ramirez, KC24, local news that matters.
Great story from Fabiola. And to kick off our town hall forum, we do have a wonderful panel joining us to discuss what it takes to provide access to early childhood education. Please welcome State Senator Melissa Hurtado, Fresno State President Dr. Joseph Castro, Fresno County Superintendent of Schools Jim Yavino, Fresno City Council Member Nelson Esparza, Clovis City Council Member Lynn Ashbeck, and Fresno County Supervisor Brian Pacheco, who's also on the First Five board. You are the president of that board. So there's no handbook. Of course, when someone becomes a parent, instinctively we love our children, which is of course important, but there's obviously more to it than that in providing our children the best start in life. So our community does reflect what our children grow up to be. So how important is the work of First Five to our local cities, Fresno and Clovis, and to Fresno County? How important is this work? Brian, let's start with you.
Well, I think it's just a tremendous responsibility that First Five does. And what I view it's kind of long-term investments. You don't really see it right away, but through education, everyone can better themselves. And by getting a good start, they can help themselves and do better in school and improve their lives and improve our community as a whole.
And we're talking about before school. That's really what the focus is on. Nelson and Lynn, if you'd like to join in on this conversation about how our communities are impacted when kids don't get that great First Five start.
Well, I think from a local government perspective, cities do two things that are really essential to healthy kids. One is making sure they're safe, and they have safe neighborhoods to live in, safe neighborhoods to play, and the other is land use planning. So to make sure that we can attend to that, and when that doesn't happen, it is a generational impact on communities. So it is, you get one shot at a kid being little, and to design a community for those kids to grow up healthy and safe is really our obligation, from my view, in terms of local government.
Nelson?
Absolutely. The city has a responsibility to ensure that we have a safe, healthy, and economically viable community for our children and our families to grow up in. And there are a number of different facets at the city level, municipal level. Lynn mentioned a couple. From my perspective, you know, even the sheer economic development and the jobs that we provide to our parents. When you have a parent who is working 2 jobs and forking out over half of their income towards housing, they're not there. They're not present.
It is hard to parent your little ones when you have to be somplayce else.
Yeah, because their first priority is to provide shelter, food, and when you're on that hierarchy of needs, when you're just at that bottom level, it's tough to find time to read and tough to find time to interact and speak to and really develop the child. And those children that lack that experience with their parents and the surrounding adults, they never catch up. And starting from that young age, they can have the greatest teachers and they can try very, very hard, but they're still, the research shows that there still maintains a gap. And so those first years are critical and we cannot get them back.
Yeah, they're babies, but there's a lot to be learned from before. I know, Jim, that's something that we've talked about before, even before birth, and that's something we're going to be talking about in this next hour. It's critical.
It is critical, and as Nelson was saying, once a child starts behind, they stay behind. They don't catch up, and so it's really our role to make sure that when we have healthy moms, healthy babies, and that's why the preterm birth initiative and all the things that you're going to hear about are so important. As I sit next to my president here, it's about, yes, we want every kid in college or career ready. Yep. And we also want every kid to graduate from high school, and we want every kid to graduate from middle school and be on grade level reading by 3rd grade and high quality effective pre-K programs. But Stephanie, it doesn't really matter unless we start earlier than that. And that's all the way back to healthy moms, healthy families, and making sure that we're providing support for them so that when they hit school at the age of 5, you know, we've already addressed some things so that they can, you know, be on an equal playing field with every other child in our county.
Dr. Castro, is that, I'm just curious, these kids who, you know, don't get the good early start that we hope for them, by the time, if they do make it to college, can you kind of tell, you know, who maybe who struggled, you know, in those early years, or is that something that kind of evens out as kids get older, or what do you notice on campus?
Yeah, you know, our university serves the Central Valley. 90% of our students are from the Valley, so we're integrated into all the different programs that exist here. And what I'd say is that the earlier that we can work with our families and our young children and prepare them, the better off they're going to be in school, in college, in careers. And then we also serve the parents, of course. Many of them are our students. So we make sure that they have a great education, that they can support their families and grow. And so, yes, it's important for us to take that long view. And in my opinion, the university should play a role in these early stages through research, through education, and through service. And we've tried to do that in this particular area. And I think that the benefits will pay off over the long haul. We'll see many more of our young people prepared.
We want them to go to your school.
Absolutely, or any other university.
Yeah.
But we want them to have lots of options. And we know that that'll be a path out of poverty. We know so many of our children and families are living in poverty, and education will help them to succeed.
I can corroborate Dr. Castro's comments. I'm still in the classroom. I teach economics at Fresno City College, and in teaching and grading on the front lines, it is evident, those gaps.
You can see it in your students. Senator Hurtado, when children aren't given the opportunity to thrive, how are we impacted on the state level? Does the state have to do more to intervene then?
So I would say that the #1 issue here in the Valley is poverty here in Fresno County, and everything is interconnected. Just last year, I was sitting on the Sanger City Council, and so just hearing my colleagues here speak about their perspective, I can easily tell you how important it is and how we're connected with one another. And you know, when it comes to education or early education, childcare, they're all tied into making a more prosperous community and a more prosperous, adult, right? Child turned into an adult. And so when it comes to land use, when it comes to the environment, when it comes to all these issues that at the state level we're making decisions on, I need to hear from Fresno County. I need to hear from our locals, from our educators, to our doctors, so that we know that we're making the best decision possible for our region, because our region is unique and it's specific. But we also have to make sure that we're advocating for our fair share of resources so that we can invest in our children.
Yes, because that is the future, of course. Thank you. We'll have much more from our panel as we continue this town hall forum, and we'll be talking about how First 5 Fresno County is helping women on the path to motherhood.
I didn't even know services existed for pregnant women, and with GLOW, I was introduced to a complete new world of resources.
We're going to show you the new ways local moms and moms-to-be are learning about prenatal care, and it has them glowing.
KC24 and First 5 Fresno County bring you a live forum. This is Early Childhood Matters.
First 5 Fresno County isn't just serving Valley kids and their families. Its staff is also educating women on the journey to motherhood. The GLOW program offers prenatal care and resources by bringing together women of different backgrounds to learn from each other. Our Angelica Leilani shows us why this program could be a game changer for Valley families.
No matter the age, parents always want their children to be safe.
In the peach?
But studies have shown that safety starts with a mother's health and care, long before these little bundle of joys are born.
If the mother is healthy, if the parents are healthy, the children are healthy.
Kalisha Goodwin knows all too well about this. The mother of 2 says even though she had the utmost care, her son was born a month early.
The rates of preterm birth here in Fresno County are extremely high, and extra high in the Black community.
But First 5 Fresno County is hoping to change this by leading the charge with a pilot project, an idea they had nearly 4 years ago.
Our commission commissioned a needs assessment in the African American community to see how we can help and support them. And so out of that 1-year needs assessment engaging the community, they identified 3 key recommendations, and one was to develop a group prenatal care project.
That group prenatal care project is known as GLOW.
Is basically a group of moms, approximately 10 to 12 moms coming together, providing peer support along with a facilitator to help facilitate the conversation. And during that time, moms one by one are getting their prenatal care visits.
The 2-year pilot project aims at providing more respectful care and social support for expectant mothers right at the beginning of their pregnancies.
Instead of waiting in the waiting room for like an hour or 2, they're together and providing that social support, providing that peer support, and relieving stress and asking each other questions and just being each other's peers and friends.
That's something Goodwin is thankful for. She participated in GLOW during her 2nd pregnancy. Goodwin says GLOW was everything she didn't realize she needed.
I didn't have my mom. So without her and going through a pregnancy without her was extremely rough for me. And I think that being in GLOW really supported me with that empty feeling I was having.
GLOW provides 10 sessions once a month at the First 5 Lighthouse for Children building in downtown Fresno, where besides an OB/GYN visit, expectant mothers learn how to take their own vitals, blood pressure, and heart rate.
Those things, GLOW brings it to you. I never really understood, and when you're with GLOW, you get a better understanding of what these things are. And just knowing what's going on during your medical visits really helps you advocate for yourself.
The program also offers wraparound services from dental, pediatric, and WIC to registering for the hospital and signing up for family leave services.
I didn't even know services existed for pregnant women, and with GLOW, I was introduced to a complete new world of resources.
Goodwin says the mothers even get a bag of groceries and a transportation stipend. And for those in the program with children, the sessions even provide childcare.
I personally believe not having social support and being grounded within yourself is a part of the reason that preterm births happen. Stress, being overworked, not having enough support to take care of the kids you might already have, that's why this is needed.
Now the project is expanding thanks to a federal grant for $5.6 million. First 5 Fresno County says they hope to increase the number of participating mothers from 200 to 2,600 over the course of the next 4 years. Fresno State is one of the partners taking GLOW to the next phase.
Our team of researchers have worked to develop a study that will look at 2 different models of support and prenatal care for families here in the Central Valley.
Where some women take part in GLOW's prenatal group care and others will receive traditional care.
It's the researchers' hope and anticipation that they'll be able to help moms identify which model of care works best for them.
Goodwin, a strong believer in the project. After graduating from Fresno State, she now works for GLOW, hoping to help mothers like her.
Being at this job and being in the program, I've realized that women really need this support, and I'm just glad that I could be a part of that huge change that's about to happen.
Angelica Leilani, KC24 Local News that matters.
You know, women attend birthing classes with other women and their, you know, significant other right before they deliver a baby, but this is like the whole pregnancy process is shared with a group, which I think is actually a pretty good idea. Jim, we touched on this a little bit earlier about the importance of prenatal care and how that really does impact a child's success after birth.
It does, absolutely. And you know, we, as you said earlier, we can't take for granted that everyone knows how to raise a child or even to take care of themselves, you know, once they become pregnant. And that's what I love about GLOW and what it's doing, because it's not only talking about what's going to happen when you deliver your baby, but it's about the things and the choices that you're making prior to that delivery that are so critical to the development of that child once they're born. I mean, when you actually get to talk to the families or the parents who are involved in this, you know, they just are so excited about what the possibility is going to bring for them and their child now as a result of having those opportunities.
Right, and just to increase the incidence of women carrying their child full term. It's a real problem in our area, a significant problem, and this is really helping to address that.
It is, and it's about nutrition and about what you eat. And you know, we learned a long time ago, I remember a class I had at Fresno State about it's what you eat, and it really is what you eat. And you know, you never really think about that. And we want our moms to understand that you know, what they consume has a tremendous impact on the life of that child.
One comment that surprised me about the Angelica story is that expectant moms, locally even, might have to deal with a lack of respect as they're receiving their prenatal care from local doctors, I would assume. Has that been an issue in our community? Brian, I don't know if you can address that while serving on the board, if this is something that has come up, that there's a respect issue that women should receive while they're pregnant, but that doesn't always happen.
Yes, surprising enough, at one of our commission meetings, some parents had come forward and really expressed that viewpoints, and quite frankly, I was shocked to hear that. But I can't emphasize enough, we think of like Fresno State and to the higher learning, but I just want to emphasize that First Five has reached out to those different communities and organizations, and can't thank President Castro enough for his involvement in all our prenatal and pre-birth initiatives and all those things. And the part of the education that we have to do, as Jim said, you're never too old to learn, and even our parents need to be educated, and First Five is doing that, and Fresno State's really been an instrumental partner in helping us do that.
Dr. Castro, I know Fresno State is involved in, you're watching this project closely, as we heard in that story, and what's going to be done with that research once this 2-year pilot project is over?
Well, it's a great opportunity. You know, we develop the next generation of leaders in all professions, so this is a way for our students and our faculty to get engaged in research that's very important, that's practical, that can make a big difference in the lives of our mothers and children. And so I anticipate these research findings will be distributed widely and will help other communities around the country and perhaps around the world to improve their services. And I love GLOW as well because of the peer mentoring aspect. There's so much, in my opinion, there's so many assets in our community through the lived experiences of our mothers and our fathers too. And I like the way that we're pairing up so that mothers can learn from other mothers who've gone through it. And I think that will help them to gain more experience and to bring, you know, to bear the support that our children need to be successful.
That is so true. We're going to continue our discussion on this, and we'll continue talking about the needs of local mothers, so stay with us.
This is a pilot project, but it's huge. We even have a sister pilot project in Africa. So because Black women show to have high preterm birth rates, but it's a huge game changer for every woman because it's giving women the power. They're taking their power back. Like, you know, we're taking back our birth. We're making it home again.
KC24 and First 5 Fresno County bring you a live forum. This is Early Childhood Matters.
And we are continuing our discussion on the GLOW program. Amelia Reyes has joined our panel now. Now, GLOW is basically a prenatal care in a group setting, and moms to be experiencing the whole pregnancy process together. But the program is still being studied for its effectiveness, group care compared to traditional care. We're going to shift the questioning now to Lynn Ashbeck. You're Senior Vice President of Community Engagement at Valley Children's Hospital, and your thoughts now on the importance of studying programs like GLOW and the impact that they have on kids and our whole community.
Valley Children's, over the last decade or so, has added a piece to our mission that talks about world-class care and continuously improving the health and well-being of kids. And it starts with these moms before they're pregnant, while they're pregnant. And every week that we can get a mom to stay pregnant, the better chance that kid has to be successful. So from a hospital perspective, it is all about starting where the family is and taking care of those kids while the mom is pregnant. And even, like I said, before they get pregnant, the more we can invest upstream, the better off the kids will be, our community will be over time.
And Valley Children's, I know, treats these infants that are born before their time.
We do.
So, and this is really something that we're thankful that the care is available locally to help these tiny babies. But ideally, everyone should be born at full term.
I always say if people could just stay pregnant one more day, one more week,
2 more makes a big difference, doesn't
even if
it?
I can't get you to 40, if I can just get you a little farther, it does make a huge difference. And I don't think we as a community realize the impact of a baby born at 22 weeks is a lifetime challenge for the baby, for the family, for the schools. So collectively, we all have a responsibility to help those moms have the healthiest and longest pregnancy we can.
And even if those preterm babies do survive, there are tremendous challenges, of course, developmentally for those infants. And then are the parents equipped to handle those challenges?
For many of the babies, that is true. Many survive, do well, thrive, catch up, go forward. But there are certainly those that struggle. So I think as a healthcare system, along with our partners, I was thinking earlier in the panel, Dr. Castro said take the long view, and I think we've taken the cross view. I don't know that 10 years ago or longer you would have had elected officials, healthcare, cities, schools, universities, talking about the health of kids.
Yes.
And that, to me, I think is the secret. That is our best chance to move the needle on any of these issues.
Right. Everyone is invested in some way. I mean, that's very clear. Nelson, you're a fairly new dad. You have a 16-month-old girl. You know the process of preparing for a baby to come. So, what are your thoughts about a program like this, giving assistance or a different way for moms to prepare? What are your thoughts about the benefits of that?
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I think there are some women out in the community who have access to these resources already, but there are many who do not. And so the fact that we have it, the fact that we're doing outreach to reach those communities and those folks who don't know about it is a true benefit to this community. I think my family is one of those families who had access and who kind of knew, and so I consider ourselves very fortunate to have been on the right nutrition track, and among other things. From my city hat perspective, and looking at the GLOW program, I can't help but think of the physical environments that our mothers are living in and that our babies are born into. So from a city perspective, I'm thinking about the quality of our housing stock. And at the city level, we obviously have code enforcement. We have a rental housing inspection program in Fresno, trying to prevent and discover folks, mothers, families who are living in substandard housing conditions.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, and the fact that not every family, whether it's mothers or mothers and children, not every family has access to a front yard or a backyard. And so making sure that our parks and recreational opportunities are in order at the city level.
Amelia, what are your thoughts about the GLOW program? It's a pilot program, but do you see this continuing in our community? It sounds like such a great program for local women?
Well, we're hoping it is a game changer for all our families in the community, especially for moms, to have the resources available.
And to share it.
Yeah, and to share the experience together. Stress is a big factor on that baby, and that baby feels everything. And so if we can minimize the barriers for moms to access prenatal care, it's more likely that they'll get it, and more likely that we have healthy babies, healthy adults, and they're successful in life, and therefore healthy community.
We're going to continue our discussion on early childhood education. Coming up next, how trauma in a child's first 5 years of life can impact them as they grow.
We learned that the kids that go through a lot of traumatic events as kids end up having health outcomes as adults.
We're going to explain what adverse childhood experiences are and how First Five and other local groups are working to give kids a fighting chance, no matter their background.
KC24 and First Five Fresno County bring you a live forum. This is Early Childhood Matters.
According to the CDC, adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, like trauma due to abuse and neglect, can impact children long after they initially happen. That's why First Five Fresno County and its partners are taking action to address ACEs, which in turn prevents kids from engaging in risky behaviors later in life. Our Megan Roop reports on what's being done on a local level.
It's no surprise the first 5 years of life are the foundation for a lifetime of health, a common theme at First Five Fresno County.
The healthier we have our young kiddos and healthier community, the less expenses we have for special education, social services, so it ultimately impacts the economics of the community.
First Five, one of many organizations partnering in fighting a problem facing our youth, and leaders say eventually society as a whole. ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences, based on a study conducted in the 90s.
We learned that the kids that go through a lot of traumatic events as kids end up having health outcomes as adults.
10 markers of trauma in that study, including death or dysfunctional home life or physical or emotional abuse.
If you had all 10 of those factors from that original ACE study, you know, there's a good chance you were going to have some major health issues when you become an adult.
Like depression, suicide, STDs, cancer, or even death. Artie Padilla is executive director for nonprofit Every Neighborhood Partnership. He says there's no quantitative score for Fresno County, but
we know that things like poverty, substandard housing, domestic violence, gang violence in neighborhoods, things like that are additional effects to kids and adults in the area of trauma.
Every Neighborhood Partnership tackling the effects by building resilience.
That person in every child's life that can love on them consistently over time. Now, usually that's the parent, right? But that's not always the case.
The nonprofit mobilizing, joining with churches and businesses, going into more than 100 Fresno and Clovis elementary schools, creating relationships through literacy mentors.
They run Saturday sports programs all over town, so they open up the school for a couple of hours on a Saturday morning.
And other experiences like Latin dance, drumming sessions, and Padilla says yoga. According to Padilla, the effects already seen in the classroom.
From the teacher's perspective, we're seeing behavioral issues dropping.
Trickling out into the community.
We've got parents from the neighborhoods that are running a Saturday sports program that are in the classrooms helping with their kids' literacy, but they're also out in the community advocating for street lights.
Padilla also created the Fresno County Trauma and Resilience Network, hosting meetings and providing trainings and conferences to help the community be more trauma informed.
Teaching them how to recognize trauma and how to recognize when a child might be experiencing some symptoms that could indicate that they had experienced trauma.
Dawn Utek is the Director of Behavioral Health for Fresno County, another agency joining with Every Neighborhood Partnership. Last year, Utek's department embarking on an agreement with the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools to help schools provide prevention, early intervention, and treatment for kids 0 to 22 years old.
Teach kids about understanding and recognizing their own emotions and behaviors and building resilience so that when they do experience trauma in their lives, they have the tools necessary. The more that we can support families in our community and give them the resources they need, the better chance we have to mitigate the negative outcomes that can occur.
Padilla agrees, but he's asking for help to broaden the reach even more.
I think what we're trying to do is trying to unstack some of those things that make life hard. So that they can even grow even more resilient. So our numbers in health and education and unemployment are a lot better, you know, in 10 years, 15 years.
Megan Roop, KC24 Local News that matters.
This makes so much sense. Adverse experiences as a child, especially those repeated over and over again, can impact a child's health, not just mental health, but their physical health. And as these ACEs increase, so do the risks. Jim, I'm imagining you have a lot to say about this and the schools trying to intervene and help kids. How do you determine who may be impacted by these ACEs?
Yes, and that's why we're so excited about this new partnership with Supervisor Pacheco and the County Behavioral Health Department, because we're out now identifying and recognizing some of the challenges that our kids have had, trauma before birth. I mean, think about that. I mean, how, you never talked about post-traumatic stress syndrome prior to a child being born. How is that possible? Well, we know it's possible. With this partnership, we're able to get into the schools where our families are. And what I mean by that is if a child is experiencing trauma and they need support and they're 50 miles from downtown Fresno, how are they going to get to Fresno? So this partnership, what it's going to do is we will have a behavioral health, mental health clinician assigned to every single school in Fresno County. So they'll have their own. So when there is an issue, it can be resolved right there at the site, and families feel very safe at schools. So yes, Stephanie, to your point, our teachers are identifying it, but we want to stop identifying it at 5 and 6 and 8 and 10. Let's identify it when it's happening, and that's really at birth.
Are there limitations in what our schools can do? I don't know if it's infringing on parents' rights, or does that become kind of a tricky situation on making this identification and then actually, providing some type of intervention?
Well, we all know a child's first teacher is their parent, and their parents are involved in this process with us. It's not schools going out, it's that collaborative piece that works so well. And what we're finding is it's not only about the child maybe needing services, it's also the families that need it desperately. The school's able to help facilitate that. And this is a 5-year build out. We just started. We are now on the west side of Fresno, and it's only been in existence for 5 months. We're already seeing a difference between what's happening at the schools and in the classrooms as a result of this.
Is there a point where it's too late, where these adverse experience are so embedded in a person that there's nothing that can be done? Or
I don't think it's ever too late.
Yeah.
The earlier we can get in, the better. But I hope that you and the viewers can see a common theme here. First Five is reaching out to different members of the community. We mentioned Fresno State earlier. Now we have the Fresno County Office of Ed. And as Councilmember Esparza said, not only is it our home, where it's our first parents, but it's the schools and it's our neighborhoods. So First Five has really made a concentrated effort over the last number of years to reach out to various community organizations to get involved and to make a difference. We have the Street Saints, we have Building Broken Neighborhoods, All those types of organizations are really reaching out to get to our youth at an earlier age. And it's not, as we say, not just the child, but it's the parents, the mother. We need to really get started early, and First Five has really done that effort. And I can't say enough about our Director of Behavioral Health, Dewan Utek, who's leading that. She's a commission member with me on First Five, and her area of expertise and her knowledge that she brings to the commission each and every month is just invaluable. And not only for Fresno County, but she's really a superstar in the state of California, and we have her benefit right here in Fresno County.
Thank you. Well, yes.
And to a large degree, I mean, we know the source and where this is all transpiring in the households. So as a council member, I have the opportunity from time to time to take ride-alongs with our police department. And unfortunately, I've walked onto several domestic violence calls. Domestic violence is an epidemic, and that's just one example of many. It creates these adverse childhood experiences for our children down the road. And so we know, in many cases, the source of where it's at. And at the city, we are more of a reactive agency in terms of the law enforcement aspects, but it's all about partnering and relying on the other agencies and community partners here who know how to get to the source and aim for preventative measures.
Step in and help out. All right, thank you. We'll have more after the break on what the community is doing to give our kids a better chance at a better life.
KC24 and First 5 Fresno County bring you a live forum. This is Early Childhood Matters.
And we're back with our esteemed panel for this town hall forum in partnership with First 5 Fresno County. And we're continuing our discussion about ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, and their impact on a child's health. Experiences like physical, emotional abuse, neglect, it could be violence at home, exposure to family members who drink or use drugs. A 1995 study by the CDC and Kaiser Permanente found ongoing exposure to these types of adverse experiences leads to toxic stress. That leads to wear and tear on the body and the brain. It can result in risky health behaviors, chronic health conditions, even early death. So this is something that our community is addressing. And Lynn, you're shaking your head a lot. I know that you have some comments on this and the importance of identifying children that are in these situations and getting help to them.
And I think again, represented here is nobody can do it by themselves. So from a Valley Children's perspective, when we see these kids and we do the best we can, we take great care of them and we send them out. But part of it is where we send them out too. So the partnerships with schools and First 5 to try to make sure they go to a safe place is really important. Otherwise, they're just going to keep cycling back through any healthcare system. And so really the objective is to try to wrap our arms around them as early as we can and get them the help they need. And it's not going to come from any one place. So I can't overstate how important that is. It sounds kind of like, why didn't we think of this 20 years ago? But it wasn't, for some reason, it wasn't the lens. But I think that really is our opportunity now. If anyone could have done it by themselves to solve any of these issues, they would have. But we can't. So it does really take all of us.
And thank you for saying that, because that's really, when I look up here in this group, There are so many of us coming together through our Cradle to Career initiative in Fresno County about how do we serve children better. All of us. No one's competing. No one's school's better than another school. Colleges, even though I love Fresno State,
well, we all do, of course.
But it's not that way. I mean, you can call anyone in the room and say, how do we help families in our community? Let's just start there. And that's what is happening right now. I've been in education almost 30 years. I've never seen it this way. You know, the last 4 or 5 years, this momentum's been growing, and now is the opportunity to really seize that moment and make a difference in every child's life. And it's happening. Even though we talk about the horrific things going on in some of our families and things that have happened, we're at a point now where we can move forward and start addressing those things together and pool our resources. I mean, because I am in government in my position, what better way to use those resources by sharing them, not replicating services, finding out what we're doing and making sure that one child isn't getting service from 10 providers and 9 are not receiving any service.
Right.
Those are the type of the work that we're all doing together.
The logistics of sorting it all out. Dr. Castro, your thoughts on this work that's being done to help these children in these adverse conditions, and how it impacts them as they grow up and hopefully attend higher education.
Absolutely, it's just vitally important, and I think I might just focus for a moment on the moms and dads. And we know that a lot of the trauma that happens with families can be linked to the lack of opportunities that they have for education, for health care, for a good job. And so I think it's very important for our K through 12 and our higher education institutions to work together and expand opportunities for our parents, and that will enable them to make a better living for their children and live in places that are safer, hopefully, and create a supportive environment. I lived in a place that had a lot of trauma, and 40 years later, when I think about it, I still feel it. So I would like to see more of our families in a situation where they have the economic viability to support the whole family, and that will maximize the chances for our young people to succeed.
Absolutely. Thank you. Coming up next, we're going to share our final thoughts in this forum dedicated to early childhood education. We'll be right back.
KC24 and First 5 Fresno County bring you a live forum. This is Early Childhood Matters.
We do have time for a few final thoughts. You know, it is reassuring to know that so much is being done to help the children of our community and their parents. And as we focus moving forward, Brian, maybe you can talk with us a little bit about what the board has planned, what maybe some of the challenges are that they're hoping to address.
Well, we want to continue our collaborative effort with all of those agencies in our community. I would say one of the challenges always is funding. It's hard to imagine that the first 5 in the state of California is actually tied to the tobacco tax funding. And while the state is really emphasizing less tobacco, better health, in the upcoming years, that's really going to impact the funding source of our agencies. So I see that as one of the main challenges going forward would be our funding stream.
Amelia, what can you add to what the future plans are for First 5?
Well, as Supervisor Pacheco stated, our funding has decreased. However, the needs in our community has still grown, and the need for quality early education for our children has grown. And for us, like our colleague said earlier, the upstream approach, prevention, every child deserves those early childhood experiences, especially now more than ever. Research has demonstrated that those first 5 years of life, the brain develops rapidly, they build their cognitive and social skills, and that's what is needed for that foundation for future success. So for us, we can't do it by ourselves, so we're partnering with all together to make sure we all have a impact on our young children and families to thrive in Fresno County.
Well, with the concerns about the funding, what is our current governor, is First 5 and these types of services on his radar?
Oh yes, the governor just released his May Revise, really focused on an early childhood agenda and a parent agenda. He understands the dual generational approach, saying basically our children grow in the context of our families grow in the community, and how can we make sure we're supporting them to be successful in life. And this is the first time for us, it's pretty exciting, even though our funding is coming down, we have a governor who really supports and prioritizes our early childhood investment. So it's
hopefully,
yes.
he'll address that.
Yes, exactly.
I do want to thank all of our guests, Amelia Reyes with First 5, Dr. Castro, thank you for being here, Jim Yavino, Nelson Sparza, and Lynn Ashbeck, and Brian Pacheco. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to get in touch with First 5, we do have the address and phone number on our screen. Thank you for joining us.